Hello guys, welcome to my new video. I am just chilling at home, drinking my coffee, and I've decided to film this video a little bit differently, and I'm gonna explain why. So as you guys know, I was in Paris. I was doing couture week once again, and I was filming everything, but I haven't really filmed any parts of me talking and explaining what's going on, purely because I was so exhausted, so stressed. I was simply just overwhelmed throughout the whole week, and I almost did not even film anything backstage because of how stressed I was, and I was honestly in a bad mood because I was just going through so many emotions. I'm gonna make a separate video on this topic, but I didn't want to disappoint you guys. I wanted to film backstage and show you what was going on during this couture week. So this was my idea. Now I'm gonna tell you guys the whole story time, and then after each section, when I talk about the certain show, I'm gonna show you backstage footage and what I filmed in Paris. So let's start with the first day of shows. I did 2 shows. First show was early in the morning. It was for George Hobika. And when I done fittings for this show, it was quite stressful because usually you go to a casting, then they call you in for the fitting, and then the fittings usually last from 1 hour to 2 hours. It should not be more than that, and if they need to call you in again to refit something, that's totally normal. But for this one, it was a little bit more specific and different. I absolutely love the team. I absolutely love the designers. I previously worked with them in January of this year. I loved doing the show, but this time they had a new stylist, and this stylist was very specific with her requests, how she wants models to look like, what's the lineup, how she wants to style things, what's the vibe. And what was my impression is that she wasn't 100% sure what she wants, so she changed around things a couple of times, which resulted with me doing the fitting 3 times. So first time was a callback. So callback is when they call you in after the first initial casting. So that means you made it through the second round, and that's when usually the stylist sees you, the designer sees you. The first time it's only the casting director. So I went in and there was like so many girls. They were not very well organized. They were doing the casting, callback, and fitting at the same times, which is just very chaotic, and I don't understand why they did that, because that's just too many girls coming in at the same time. So I was prepared to wait for a really long time over there. So I waited. It's tell me, stay Maria, we're gonna do the fitting, whatever. The stylist liked me, and I went in for the fitting, and I was trying a couple of things, and I could see the designer and the stylist were not agreeing on things. So I tried on the first dress. The designer was, wow, this looks amazing, but the stylist was like, you know what, I want something different, because I think she was going for the more edgy vibe, and I'm not edgy. So she didn't want to put like amazing beautiful dresses on a pretty girl. She wanted to put it on an edgy girl, and then maybe to put something a little bit more different on me, that it's not as beautiful and shiny dress, which I didn't understand what's the concept, because couture is all about these beautiful dresses. I wasn't sure what was she trying to do with me specifically, because I tried out many different dresses and they were all different, like totally different concepts and designs. So to make the story short, basically they told me to come back in tomorrow. They're gonna tell my agents. The next day I was waiting all day, no callback for fitting. I was like, okay, then I guess I'm not doing the show. So 10 p.m. I'm in bed. They're like, Maria, can you quickly go for a fitting for this designer? And I was like, okay, I just need to like get out of bed, and I need like 30 minutes to get there. Like I'll just get there as soon as I can. So get ready, get out of bed. I was like, okay, whatever. Like they waited all day to call me in at 10 p.m, which is fine, it happens. I go in there, and then I stay there till 1, I think it was almost 1:30 a.m, which is not normal. And I wasn't complaining. I was just standing there trying on a million different dresses. They were even making certain pieces on me, which is fine if you want to fit something, but it should not last that long. Like, no designer ever fitted me for that long. And I was like, you know what, I love this brand, I love the people that work here, like, it's fine. Like, they can take 3 hours to fit me. If they're gonna confirm me I'm gonna do the show, it's fine. So I do that fitting, they confirm the look, it's fine, great. The next day, again, it's the evening, it's the night before the show, I get an email from my booker that says, it was, by the way, 9:30 p.m. Again, it was the evening. Maria, can you please go to this designer again? They need to refit you. They need to give you another look. And I was like, are you kidding me? I was last night I was there till 1:30 a.m. and they want me to go back again in the evening, last minute, the night before the show. I need to get up early if I'm doing the show to do the fitting. I'm not being there for another 3 hours. Like, that's just absurd. Like, this is not how you do things. And I knew it was purely because the stylist was so indecisive with her decisions. I was like, this is not my problem. I was getting kind of upset, and I told my booker, by the way, I did not tell you this, and usually you should let your bookers know when this happens, when they keep you at the fitting or anywhere for such a long time, because that's just not normal. I was like, by the way, I was there till 1 a.m. last night. They tried on 3 different looks. They confirmed the final look. They were even sewing on things like during the fitting and just taking so long, but I didn't mention anything because I was like, this is part of my job, I should do this. But them calling me in again the next night and potentially keeping me there for another couple of hours, I'm just not doing that. And my booker was like, yeah, that's not okay. I'm gonna tell the casting director they cannot do that. Like, do you want me to tell them that you're not coming, like that you're not gonna come in again? And I was like, no, I'm professional, I'm gonna do my job properly, I'm gonna go in. If they need to refit me, that's okay, but they cannot take another 3 hours to fit me again, because that's their issue, that they're indecisive. She was like, okay, I'm gonna tell them they have 15 minutes to refit you, and that's all they get. So I go in and they gave me a new dress. They were like, okay, this is perfect. It was done in 20-25 minutes. And I was done, and then the next day was the show. At the end, everything went amazingly at the show, everything was great, but I just want to tell you this little story time about behind the scenes and what's actually going on during fashion weeks, and how certain people work in this industry, how designers, casting directors, stylists work together, and one of the possible situations that could happen, and what's okay and what's not okay, because many unexperienced models would let this just slide through and let the client behave however they want, even though they're taking their time and effort. And as much as we're trying to be professional and let the client do their job and make certain decisions, certain things are just not okay, because it's so unnecessary. Because from my perspective, how I saw the situation, I saw it as something that was not necessary to do. It was purely because there was this indecisiveness in between them, the team, the designer, the stylist. As you do this job for many years, you recognize what's normal and what's not. And maybe I wouldn't recognize this situation as something that's problematic if I was early on in my career, but because I've worked with so many designers, bigger, smaller designers, I know how these things should look like and how they should work, and what's okay and what's not okay. So you're gonna see everything in this video because I filmed a lot of backstage footage, and you're gonna see the backstage, the makeup, the hair, the dress that I was wearing. The dress was absolutely beautiful. I was in love with it. It was super nice when I got to the show location. We have this amazing catering, food, coffee. It was an amazing show. It was beautiful. The designers are absolutely wonderful. I love working with them. They always do an amazing job. Their designs are incredible. I'm in love with every single one of their dresses. Even though there's a lot of stress before each of these shows and everyone's so nervous and everyone wants everything to be perfect, the whole team is just so excited at the same time. Once the show starts, it just feels incredible, and once it's finished, everyone's so happy, and I don't know, the energy is so amazing. So after this show, I actually had to run to the casting for Zuhair Murad. Once I got there, my booker texted me, oh, actually you don't have to go, you already have a fitting schedule for tomorrow. I was like, I already finished the casting, I saw the team, because I worked with them before as well. I did their show and I also did their shoot in Lebanon. I was shooting their wedding collection. So they already know me, the designer knows me, and it was quite nice to at least see them the day before the fitting. And then afterwards I had to rush to another show that I had for Tony Ward. The makeup artist and the hair team did not have a lot of time to get me ready for the show, so basically they did my makeup in 15 minutes and rushed to do my hair. We did the rehearsal. I absolutely loved my looks for this show. Especially the white look. I'm gonna put some photos here, and of course you're gonna see some footage, but it was incredible. And I also did the show before, so I know the whole team and the designer, the stylist. It was just amazing. They're incredible people. So now I'm going to show you some footage from this show as well. While I was at the Tony Award show, I received a message from my booker that I have a fitting for Ellie Sub, and I already had 2 more fittings on my schedule for that day after this last show. I did Ellie Sub show last season, so in January, And I was like, okay, perfect. I'm so excited. I love working for this designer. I also did their show in Turkey recently. That's when I flew in for like 48 hours, when I went from Miami to Turkey and then from Turkey here to LA. So I was prepared to like rush to all of my fittings after 20-word show. And then 15 minutes later, I received a message from my other booker, do not go to Ali sub fitting. And I was like, what's going on? Like, did they just cancel my fitting, or was it like they mixed up the girls or something? And then my other booker that initially sent me the message to go to this fitting sent me something in French. And I was like, why is she sending me in French? Maybe she was supposed to send this message to someone else. So I translated, and it said something along the lines, Maria has a editorial shoot that day, so she cannot do the show. And I was so confused, and I was like, this was not meant for me. Like, this message, she wasn't supposed to send that to me. She was supposed to send that to someone else. So I'm texting my other booker like, okay, so you told me not to go. She's telling me, my other booker, that I need to go, and then she sends me this message in French that I have an editorial shoot on the show day. Like, who has an editorial shoot on the show day? Like, what's going on? So my booker calls me immediately. He's like, look, Maria, we have an issue. So on that day, when it's the Ali sub show, it's Suhail Murat's show, and they're close to each other, like they're one after another, and there's not enough time in between for you to get from one show to the other and to get ready for the second show. And I was like, how is that possible? Because I did that last season. I did those two shows and they were one after another. He's like, this year they're even closer together, so there's not that much time in between for you to do the whole change. So I was like, okay, I understand. I mean, this year is different. Hopefully next time it's not gonna be like this. But I was kind of sad because I was like, come on, I will be confirmed for both of these shows, but they wouldn't let me do both shows, and I love both designers. So I was like, okay, I guess this year it's gonna be a little bit different. But what I found out at the end is that some girls did both shows and some did only one. So you either did Suhail Murat, or you did Ali sub, or you did both. And how they did this is that they could have only a certain amount of girls that do both shows, and the rest of us had to choose one. I don't know who made the selection and who is deciding on this, who's gonna do both, who's gonna do only one, and which one. But the problem was that both designers were booking the same girls, and that's why this happened. So we had like 10 girls that came in from Ali sub show to Suhail Murat show, and they did both shows, but the rest of us had to do only one because the makeup and hair team could not get this ready. Like, they barely got these girls ready. They came from the other show, and there was like 10 of them. Imagine if the whole lineup was coming from one show to the other. So I completely understand the situation, and as I said, I don't know who made the selection, who's gonna do what, but I was okay with it at the end. At least I didn't have to rush from one thing to another and be stressed on top of everything that was going on. So that day I finished 2 other fittings that I had, and then the next day it was again a show day, and I did 2 shows again. So this day I did Alexis Mobile's show, which is the first one, and I actually did the shoot for them 2 weeks prior. The whole runway looked amazing. It was so different, and they definitely put in so much effort into this show by choosing the venue. And we also had this little performance in the middle of the show. So we walked the runway, and then before the finale, when everyone comes out, like all of the girls, we had this like little performance. I'm gonna try to insert as much footage as I can. I filmed everything backstage, but if I can additionally find some videos online, I will put that in as well. I absolutely love working for this designer. He's super sweet, and yeah, this is the second time I'm doing this show, so I'm gonna show you some footage now. my shows were very close by, so I just had to like walk over to my second show. It was like 10 minutes away by walk, and it was for George Chakra show. It's the first time I'm doing that show because last season actually they confirmed me for the show, but I was also confirmed for another show that was at the same time, and it was the show that I was doing with like a couple of supermodels like Naomi Campbell, Candice, like Kokorosha. So my bookers just chose for me to do that show because of the obvious reasons. But this season that show was not on the schedule, and that designer wasn't doing the show in Paris, so I did this show instead, George Chakra. So there's also a little story time about this show backstage. So I got in, I was taking off my nail polish, like my hairstyle, taking my makeup off, and I had glitter all over my face because of the previous show, so it was kind of hard to take off. And they didn't want me to have any glitter for this second show because the makeup look was totally different. So I was like scrubbing everything off because it's just taking off glitter, it takes days. Sometimes I would find glitter on my face 7 days after. So I sat in the makeup chair, and this makeup artist that doesn't really speak English, she starts doing my makeup, and she used the tape to take the glitter off. She was like literally putting tape on my face and taking it off, which hurt a little bit, but I was like, okay, if that's what it takes to take the glitter off, then it's fine. So she started to get a little bit frustrated, and that's not good, because if someone is doing your makeup, you don't want them to be frustrated, or even the hairstylist. Like, you don't want those people to be in the bad mood, because if they are, it's gonna be a bad day for you as well, because they're gonna pull out your hair, they're gonna scratch your skin, it's gonna be bad. I was like, okay, everything's gonna be fine. So she starts doing my makeup, and she's like huffing and puffing, and she's just like so frustrated and like talking in French. I don't know what she's talking about, but maybe she was also having a bad day, I don't know. So while she was doing my makeup, she saw a little bit of glitter here, like by my eye, and she was trying to take it off with her nail, with her finger, and just wouldn't come off. She was getting even more frustrated, and I was like, okay, I'll take it off, because if I let her keep scratching under my eye, my skin is just gonna be irritated, and I already did a couple of shows previously, so my skin feels raw and it's just already damaged, and I'm already breaking out, so I don't need more problems on top of that. So I told her, let me just take it off, I'll take it off by myself. She's like, no, I'm gonna take it off, I'm gonna take this. And she takes the spoolie, like the spoolie for that you use to put the mascara on, and I was like, no, we're not doing that with the spoolie, because it's gonna scratch my skin, I'm gonna make micro cuts in my skin. We're not doing that, because at this point she was getting pretty aggressive with like scrubbing my skin and taking off this glitter. So I had to say something. I was like, sorry, but we cannot use that to take off the glitter. Just give me something else, like a cotton pad or anything that or I can even use my finger just to like take off this like little glitter thing. And then she got so upset, and she started like speaking in French, like, I don't know, like something about me. Like, she got so frustrated that I said that she cannot take it off with the spoolie. And the girl next to me, she is a model and she speaks French, and she just looked at me like this, and I understood that she said probably something bad or sweared at me in French or something. I honestly did not care, but I was like, you're not scratching my skin with that thing and ruining my skin even more. And I forgot to mention that for the previous show, because we had glitter on our eyelids, they had to use the glue, and that glue got into my eye, and I'm wearing contacts. And of course he did it by accident. He put too much glue on my eyelid. It was like dripping like on the sides, then got into my eye. My eye was burning. Thank God I didn't go blind or anything, and my contacts were fine. But just after that, going to this show and this woman trying to scratch my skin because of this glitter, I was so done with it. I was starting to get frustrated, because I was like, where does this end? Like, does anyone care about the models? Like, does anyone care about our well-being? Because it's not my fault if it's your bad day or something, but you cannot just do whatever you want and act like I'm a doll, you know, I'm a human being, even though I know some of them sees us as hangers and dolls that they just use to put makeup on and hair and their designs. But you should at least be respectful. And to be honest, all these designers and designer teams are always respectful. Like, I never had a bad experience. But it's always the hair team or the makeup artist or something in the team that's having a bad day or like getting frustrated. There's so many nice people in this industry and I rarely have bad experiences, but for some reason this time so many things have happened, and maybe that's why I was so overwhelmed and stressed during this week and I just did not feel like being in front of the camera and filming. I was trying to calm myself down and not get upset about these things and to do my job professionally and to look my best on the runway no matter what was going on behind the scenes. So yeah, that's the little story time before that show, but everything else was fine. The team is wonderful, the casting director is wonderful, everyone else on the team was wonderful, even the hair team was so nice, they were so gentle with doing my hair, like everything was perfect. But there's that one person that was, yeah, she wasn't in the best mood. I really enjoyed the show. I really enjoyed walking the runway. Two dresses that I wore were absolutely amazing. So I'm gonna put some photos here, and now I'm gonna show you also some backstage footage. Okay, so now the final day. I did one show because I couldn't do the other one, Alisa, but I did the Zuhair Murad show and it was absolutely amazing. So Charlotte Tilbury team was doing our makeup. They did our makeup last season, couture season. And this time Sophia Tilbury wanted to do my makeup and to film the whole tutorial. She's Charlotte Tilbury's niece. So when I arrived to the location, I had some coffee, some catering, and then they sat me in the chair and then we started filming this video. They actually posted on Charlotte Tilbury and Sophia Tilbury's Instagram page. I don't know if I can insert the video here, if I can download it, but maybe I can leave a link down below if you want to see it. She's absolutely wonderful. I really enjoyed that experience and we had plenty of time to get ready for the show, so it wasn't so stressful. I really enjoyed this day. There was no stress, no drama this day, and it was my final show for the whole week, so I was pretty relaxed. I'm gonna put the photo here. They also posted on their Instagram account. This was the makeup look for the show. After they completed my makeup look, I had some time to like rest before the rehearsal. We did the rehearsal, everything went well. Then we changed into our looks and then the show started. It was absolutely amazing. Always love watching this show. The whole team is absolutely amazing. The designer, he's so nice. The casting director, so nice. And the two dresses that I wore for this show were absolutely incredible. They were so beautiful. I'm gonna put some photos here and also I'm gonna show you some backstage footage.
Feel your ice cold skin. Rice wine, candlelight is still not enough for me.
I never claimed that I was brave, I only cut you out of way. I catch a wave, I only dip my toes in cold. Hearted and divided, but you broke the silence sign. You got me diving now. How can I be sure? You got me begging for more than a dead.
That would be it for this video. I know it's a little bit different than expected. It's not like a fully vlog style. It's half story time, half behind the scenes footage, but I really wanted to post this video and to not disappoint you guys, because I know a lot of you were expecting the video from the couture week because I talked about it in my previous video. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. I'm gonna try my best to upload as much as I can and tell you guys more about what's going on in my life currently. Expect a new video very shortly. I'm working on it. I'm gonna be in LA for the next few weeks, so I'm gonna film some stuff here, and then afterwards I have also some travel coming up. I'm gonna have more downtime and have more chill time because I'll be at one place for longer. But yeah, if you have any suggestions for any types of videos you want to watch, it doesn't have to be modeling vlogs, doesn't have to be travel vlogs, it can be literally anything. Just comment down below. I'm gonna go through all of your comments, any suggestions that you have. Like this video to support me, subscribe to my channel if you want to see more content, and I'll see you very soon in my next video.